special premieres.
We're back and we brought shit.
We were just in Anime New York City, and boy, oh boy, did we see some cool ass shit.
We saw the shit. They gave us the secret shit.
They gave us that good.
They were like, here you are, hush hush
quality
world premiere.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, you can't give out the whole plot. They didn't say that, but I'm assuming that's just what...
I think they said it at Fragtime. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw that.
And we actually did get a couple premieres that were USA first before Japan. What the fuck?
Which is specifically Fragtime was one of those.
Yeah. That's some crazy shit, guys.
Anyway, this is the Protagonist seat. I'm Alex. That's Ian.
Hello.
If you're new here and you just came to see, hey, what are these new premieres about?
Hey, what are these premieres about? Well, you sit the fuck down and you shut up, because we're going to tell you, whether you want to or not.
We're going to tell you about stuff that's going to be old news next month.
It's going to be weird if you didn't want to hear it, but you know what? You're here, so you're going to listen to it. And you're going to like it.
So we're here to talk about Fragtime. We saw the Spectre premiere.
That was dope as hell,
and
dude.
The last one that we saw was Somali and the Forest Spirit.
Somalia and the Forest Pirates.
Yeah, Somalia Forest Pirates.
Yes, it was Somali and the Forest Spirit, and it was all good. I could say that I enjoyed all of the premieres we went to.
Yeah, Anime New York really needs to fix the whole subtitle issue, because...
Yeah, subtitles being on the bottom of the screen is kind of a pain in the dick when everyone's at the same level.
Yeah, it wasn't like movie theater seating where, you're above the person behind you.
They actually sent out like a survey for people. And
yeah, I filled out the survey and I was like, fix that shit.
Yeah, that's what I did as well, because fix that shit.
Yeah, fix that shit.
Let's talk about Fragtime.
Yeah, Fragtime. So Fragtime is not a show, it's a OVA.
It is, yeah. And it reminded me a lot of, if you've seen...
Hope You Like Yuri.
Yeah, Hope You Like Yuri Romance. But if you were a fan of the movie The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, it's basically like that.
But gay.
But gay. And with time stop instead of time jumps.
Yeah, so there's this girl, I forget her name.
Me too.
Yep, she can stop time, and she can do it for like 3 minutes, and she uses it to look up this girl's skirt. But turns out this girl is not affected by her time stop, so
yes.
Now she knows, hey, this girl can stop time, and she just looked up my skirt.
So she must like me. And then a Yuri romance ensues.
Yeah, and they do like little fun things when they stop time together.
And then they get down to some hardcore fucking.
They don't do
right
that.
In the class.
They don't do that.
Right on top of the teacher.
They don't do that.
Right on top of him.
It's not a hentai.
It's not. Yeah, it's not that kind of movie.
Unfortunately.
Ugh.
Ugh.
The neck beard.
Yeah.
But it was a very interesting movie, because even though it hit a lot of the same story beats that I noticed in the movie I mentioned earlier, I should also preface this by saying I missed the second half of the movie just because I couldn't read any of the subtitles.
Yeah, but thankfully we don't need to mention that because we're trying not to like spoil anything.
Exactly. We give like the general plot shit that they give out in the preview.
Yeah, when we get to the third one, he's going to have to do all the explaining because I could barely see shit for that one.
And I like that one a lot.
But luckily, we both saw Spectre.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Good.
Fragtime was good.
I liked the art style is very, very comfortable.
I thought it was okay. I actually read a little bit of the manga before, and I wasn't that into it. So, I mean, this was, I guess, just the faster way for me to finish it.
Yeah. It's got a comfortable color palette, I will say. Because everything is... From what I remember, everything is fairly soft. But that's a little technical for people.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the writing in the first half that I was able to read, because, the
later half does make the romance a little more interesting. Without, like, getting into spoilers or anything. It really kind of breaks down what the two of them kind of what they're all about, what they're actually thinking, and how the first half isn't as necessarily clear-cut as it is in the later half.
Good.
Yeah.
It makes me kind of want to actually watch the movie, or actually want to watch it when it comes out. because I do want to know what the fuck.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Yeah. I liked it. It wasn't probably, again, if it wasn't I wasn't seeing it for the premiere, I probably wouldn't have gone out on my own to seek it.
Yeah.
Because, again, I told you before, I didn't really like the manga for it.
I'm not, this is going to sound like a little bit of an odd statement. I'm not super into Yuri romance, but...
I checked it out just because I heard people talking about it. I'm sick this week, so my voice is going to crack a lot.
Surprise, Alex is sick.
Yeah, because fucking New York with buses and all that shit.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, on the bus.
Right in your face.
Yeah.
At least it was cheap, though.
Yeah, it was cheap.
But I want to see the end. I would probably recommend it to people who do like Yuri romances, because it seemed a little kind of by the numbers, I would say. From what I saw.
I don't know. I feel like Yuri is one of those genres that doesn't
get a lot of variation.
Yeah. I don't know, because Bloom Into You, I think that's what it was called, came out like last year. And a bunch of people were into that, and I guess that was really good. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
I didn't either. I know some people who really, really like to push Citrus. Yeah.
Citrus was like trashy though, from what I heard.
That doesn't surprise me.
It's two sisters, stepsisters, but you know.
So it's a little bit like Yuri Domestic Girlfriend, just kind of.
Yes, actually.
That's
completely
fair. That actually puts it in some good perspective. But if you like Yuri romance, check out Fragtime. It seems okay. I want to finish it just because I want to know what the ending was.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with complex shit like love triangles and shit that's in Citrus, so...
Yeah.
It's straightforward.
Yeah, you got your two characters. They got their friend character who shows up every once in a while and says some shit. What she says, I don't fucking know. I couldn't read the subtitles.
She's just the friend character.
Yeah, that also doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, there's only 3 characters in this whole movie.
Yeah. I thought the nurse was gonna... Spoilers, there's a nurse in the movie.
A school nurse, too.
I thought the school nurse was gonna be a character, and then...
She's just in there for that one scene.
Wasn't.
Yeah, there's 3 characters.
She's one of the few characters that has a somewhat unique-looking face, so I was like, holy shit. But no.
Next one we watched is Inspector.
Inspector. Not Inspector like Inspector Gadget, but in/Spectre,
yeah,
like the spooks.
Or in/Spectre.
In/Spectre.
Inspectre.
Like that James Bond movie.
I also think it
Spectre.
has another title, like Inverted Inference or something in Japanese. I don't know.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
It doesn't either, but I see that sometimes.
It's based on a light novel, so the title doesn't have to make a lot of sense.
It's based off a novel.
A full novel.
And
That's right.
And then it's a novel that just became a manga series, because all the new stuff is just the manga. And I actually read the manga for this series, so I like this series, but I was worried for it because it is words.
Yes.
It is words, the series.
Holy shit. There's a lot of discussion.
Words and talking.
Basically, this is a mystery investigation series.
We got to see 2 episodes of it. The first one is the intro episode, and that has a lot more going on. The second episode is, I explained this to Ian, the second episode is something they took from volume 7 or 8, something that happens way later, but it's an isolated story, so I assume just to flesh out character more, they brought it earlier.
Yeah, so it seems like they're going to be willing to move stuff around to suit their needs better.
Well, the show looks like it's intending to cover the book, the original book, which is one long arc where everything after that long arc has mostly just been small, almost episodic things.
Like a Monster of the Week series.
Yeah, it's mostly been like that with mysteries ever since the end of the Steel Lady Nanase thing, which is going to be the one we're going to do, which is the book. And
big titty lady with no face.
Yeah, the one on the cover.
Poster.
Yeah. After they do that, it's episodic. But before then, a lot of it is just that. like so I'm assuming we were just going to do that for most of the show, but they brought that one in just sort of to space it out, because otherwise we'd just be boom, just jumping right into it.
That makes sense, because first of all, I really like the characters. I like our two main characters a lot, and I like the dynamic they have.
Kotoko is great because she's just a shit.
She's a shit.
Yeah.
And
she really likes this guy, and essentially, because it's not really spoilers, just to give away the premise of it, she is the god of wisdom of the yokai. They made her their god. When she was a little girl, she got kidnapped by yokai, which are essentially just Japanese spirits.
Yeah.
And they offered her to be their god, and in exchange, they took her left eye and right leg.
So, kids, don't get abducted by spirits.
No, I think it was right eye and left leg.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of people being all too picky about that one.
Yeah.
If I'm being totally honest. But, so kids, quick lesson for you guys.
No kids. Remember, new
kids.
YouTube policies.
Fuck
off, kids. Get out.
Young adults.
Not even good enough. Full-grown adults.
Grown-ass bearded men. Do not get abducted by fae spirits because they're shits.
Yeah. And
never trust the fae.
No, for her, because she was cool with it.
She was super cool with it.
Yeah, she's like, that's a fair trade.
And you know what? It kind of is.
And the yokai essentially come up to her, and the whole series is mostly her solving problems for them. And a lot of times she's solving mysteries for them specifically.
If you're watching our regular podcast, she is the Juzo Inui from No Guns Life for yokai.
Yeah, although most of them, she's not usually like physically active in it.
Well, she doesn't fight people because she has a fucking prosthetic leg.
No, she's pretty tough. You'll see later. She can actually, fight things, but it's not really, she shouldn't be.
That doesn't surprise me, because she also still looks like she's 11.
Yeah, but she's older than she looks. She is 17 at the start of it, and she meets this guy at the hospital that she's super obsessed with because he's super handsome and all the yokai are afraid of him.
Yeah. Turns out this dude had to eat mermaid meat as a kid.
Yeah, and he won't reveal the other type of yokai that he ate, but
because it's probably something sketchy as hell, even though Alex already told me what it was, so I know what it is.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called. It's just another type of yokai.
There's another yokai thing, but it gives him another power that's weird as fuck, but it's cool.
The second episode is essentially her solving a mystery for a giant snake spirit.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go into the mystery because that's the whole point of that episode.
Yeah, and we're going to be picking this up, so
yeah.
Stay tuned, grown-ass bearded men.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be picking this up when it comes out. Because both of us really liked the show.
Yeah, and I read the manga, so it's a series I like.
Spoiler alert.
But what I did want to say about it being mostly words, especially the one with the snake, I actually felt some people in the room getting a little like... Because the first episode was a lot more energy. The second one was the one with the snake, and even I was like... I already read the part with the snake, so I'm like, oh, this is a pretty slow part. But they do a lot with like the little spirits kind of, while she's sitting there talking, just kind of bringing her things, giving her a seat. Like
they do a good job with
they have a lot of little things going on in the background.
Yeah, other background characters bringing things forward. And they also do a lot of reenactments and things for theories that she's going through.
That's not something that's fully exclusive to the show. Like that's actually in the manga. Like it'll cut to the actual story of the characters, and
that's a good thing because holy shit, investigative series that is an anime is going to be a little bit hard to pitch people when basically all you have is wordsing going on.
I don't think it's going to be a huge hit among a lot of people because like I said, I felt the room was getting a little bored with the second episode. Yeah, and mystery stuff is kind of hard to pitch to people. Like, you need a specific audience for stuff like that. It's a slow burn. Yeah. I do feel like it'll be one that'll be fairly interesting to talk about on the podcast, just because there is a lot of plot and stuff that we can dig into. Yeah, and I can, like, twiddle my fingers and be like, hoo, I know the answer to this mystery.
Yeah, Alex will coyly hint that he knows how it's going to wrap up. He does.
They do end the second episode on a cliffhanger, which is weird because, again, I've read this and it pretty much ends right after, so that's kind of weird to do.
Yeah.
Because it's like, all right, that's over. Now we move on to another thing. Why don't you just end it there?
I think they did that on purpose because they knew beforehand they were going to have the first 2 episodes be part of, like, the premiere. And you always want to end a premiere with a cliffhanger if you're doing a series because you want to entice people to watch it. And the simplest way to do that is just end it with a cliffhanger. So at the very least, you can have people tuning into episode 3. It's cheap as fuck, but everyone always does it, so it shouldn't surprise anybody, even though it very clearly surprised everybody.
Yeah, where they were like, oh, and then again, twiddling my fingers, I know how that mystery resolves.
Yeah.
But yeah, Inspector is going to be one we're going to watch, so stay tuned for that.
And it's going to be cool as fuck.
And the last premiere we attended.
Somali and the Forest Guardian. Spirit. We got
big bad Golem Dad.
We've got the best Golem Dad.
We do.
He's just a good Golem.
We got like Daisuke Ono Golem Dad.
Yeah, he's great.
This series is about a golem that takes care of a little human girl in a world where, again, I didn't get to see so much of the plot for this one. I'm assuming humans are a rare thing.
Yes. Humans are rare. He finds a human, and he wants to bring her home.
Yeah, because, again, Ian saw the subtitles for this. I couldn't see them, and as far as I remember, there was no human characters in this. All the people in the towns and everything were all weird, sort of just other fantasy creatures.
Yes, everyone is basically it almost seems like there's pretty much everyone is a unique fantasy monster of some varying degree.
Yeah.
And basically, to put it as simply as I possibly can, there was a war. So now Somali, the girl, has to basically go around pretending to be she is a Minotaur race because she's got the little horns on her.
Yeah, because I remember seeing like, oh, her hood has little horns. That's so cute. I'm like, oh, that's probably to make people not know she's a human.
Yeah. Because it falls off at one point. And he's like, the golem is like, you gotta be fucking careful, kid. But basically, it's a series about a golem just being a wholesome dad to this rambunctious kid.
It's a father-daughter series, and thank God that he's a golem, so it's not going to end up like, if it's for my daughter, I'd even defeat a demon lord or stuff like that.
Thank God.
Yeah.
That is another show that we dropped. But holy shit. It's got some real cool imagery to it.
Again, because I couldn't read it, but I can at least understand that his response to a lot of stuff where people are like saying like, oh, do you want to eat this or stuff like that? He's like, I'm a golem. I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Or I'm a golem. I don't need that.
Because he's a golem. He doesn't need it.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a wander series. So basically, it's going to be people wandering around different places.
I got that. We saw 3 episodes, and they were in a new place for each episode. So I got the gist that it was going to be like, oh, they're travelers, so they end up at a new place, and you get the whole, this is that story with that place. And I like series like that.
Yeah. It seems like every place is going to have...
It reminds me of sort of like a Kino's Journey thing.
Yeah.
Or we're getting a new show soon, which is based off of a light novel, that The Journey of the Witch Elena. And yeah, it's basically something similar like that, traveling to new places with new, like, every episode's a new place, or every story in that book's a new place.
I like series that do that, but have every place really feel very unique.
That's what I liked about this one. I was gonna say, with this place's world feels, it's not generic fantasy, it feels it's hard fantasy.
It is super fantasy. It's great.
Like, everything is just out of, like, a storybook. It's not just like, oh, here's the forest.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's Oni people that live in this house. One's a healer. He's an accomplished healer.
Or in the 3rd episode, there's, like, an underground mushroom area where it's almost like its own world.
Yeah. And I love the architecture of the towns, because it feels very unique. Because it's not, even the like kind of generic fantasy town didn't feel like a generic fantasy town, just because all of the buildings and stuff are so unique architecturally that everything stands out and nothing feels samey. And it's the same way with a lot of the characters in the background cast, where every character feels super unique because they're all just very different.
I'll put it this way. Out of all the premieres we watched, and one of them being a series that I liked, I couldn't even understand this series, but I was captivated the whole time just because of how beautiful it is to look at.
Yeah.
And even if you can't understand it, you could still kind of get what's going on. Like, each episode I had a basic idea. I'm like, oh, that must be what's happening.
Yeah. This show is I can tell it's going to be a prime example of visual storytelling, which is something I am a big fan of.
And this isn't any spoilers or anything, just because this was also part of like the premise description is he is a golem, she is a human, and she almost just treats him like her father. But he is a golem, and golems have a very specific lifespan. After a certain point of time, they just can't be alive anymore, and it's kind of hinted at that he's nearing the end of that.
It is explicitly stated at one point.
Yeah. But, he's trying to sort of get her to a good place to be before he runs out of time.
Yeah.
Which is, so, you can tell it's going to be a sad ending series.
Yeah, we're gearing up for the sads ending.
We're going to get the feels.
But you know what? That's good. I want more feelseries. Feels series.
The feelseries.
I need more feelseries.
Sounds like you're drunk. More feelseries.
I mean, I'm a little drunk off of anime.
Sorry, it's my cough.
Just let that one hang there for a minute.
Yeah. But yeah, we saw a lot of good stuff, and I think
good shit.
Fragtime for me was just something I wasn't that into, but it was still a nice premiere, and it was neat to get it before the Japanese.
Yeah.
But as far as everything else we looked at, I think the 2 Crunchyroll premieres we went to are shows we're gonna pick up.
Definitely.
Yeah. So it was cool being able to see it early, meaning we can slack off when they actually do come out.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, I kind of already saw this.
I also thought it was funny. There was that thing, because the Fragtime panel had the producer and the lead actress.
Yeah, Miko Itoi.
These are people who do not speak English fluently. And naturally, they had a Q&A segment.
Yeah, you think, all right, they don't speak the same language as me. I should make my question clear and concise and to the point.
Yes.
Nope.
No, they did not do that. How did obviously this film is about teenage rebellion and standing out from your surroundings.
It's like they mix in like praise along with the question and a bunch of like other stuff. It's the translator's not gonna relay all of that.
I felt so bad. I could tell the looks on the translators' faces at some of these questions. They're like, how the fuck am I gonna, like, where is even the question here?
Yeah, he asked this.
And then eventually they just sort of translated it into their own questions and answered a different question.
And generally a better question.
Yeah. So if you're going to a premiere anywhere, take this lesson with you. Don't ask people who speak the same language as you overly complex and deep questions.
You mean people who don't speak the same language?
That is not what I said?
Yeah, you said people who speak the same language as you. Yeah.
That's right. I meant people who don't speak the same language as you.
But you know what? Don't even ask people that speak the same language as you overly complex questions. You got a
That's
line
true.
to get through.
Because I did speak the same language as some of these people, and you know what? I didn't know what some of their questions were. Because, like, what the... Guys,
keep it clear, simple, and to the point.
Clear, concise, simple. Because also, skip the praise. Like, they know you're a fan. You're going to ask them a question at their own panel. You don't have to be like, I am such a fan of your work. They know.
In fact, only bring it up if you're not a fan. Like, hey, I'm not really a big fan of you, but here's my question.
Part of me has always kind of wanted to go to a panel and be like, I am your mortal, like, hey, I'm Ian. I am your mortal enemy. Here's my question. Just because I want to see the look on their face when some random dude from the audience is like, I am your mortal nemesis, motherfucker.
That could be fun depending on whose panel you do it at.
Yeah. I feel like if you got a good-humored voice actor, like, I went to a Billy
Also,
West.
probably not a foreign voice actor, because that wouldn't translate, like,
No,
well.
definitely not. But I went to a Billy West panel. He's the guy who voices Fry in Futurama, as well as, like, a cajillion other characters. I feel like that would have been a fun panel to just be like, Billy West, I am your mortal nemesis. How excited were you for Futurama to get renewed several times?
That's good. But if you want to be our mortal nemesis...
Or our mortal friend?
Yeah, our mortal friend. You're going to be mortal regardless.
Let's be mortal frenemies.
Actually, if you are an immortal, then please let us know how to do that.
Especially be our friend. Because you probably have a treasure trove of secrets.
Yeah, so like and subscribe to our podcast on YouTube, The Protagonist Seat, which you might be watching right now, but we're also on other services. You could be watching us on that.
Yes, this episode will also be going up on Libsyn, Liberated Syndication, our podcast host, which means it's also going to be on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play Music, as well as Deezer for our French listeners. Bonjour.
Parlez-vous coucher avec moi?
Yes, those things. Baguette.
Yeah. We are also on social media.
We have a Facebook and Twitter page.
At Protagonist Seat.
We'll post updates as well as various things that we're super into over the course of the week.
And we do more than just talk about premieres. We talk about seasonal anime.
Yes, we pick approximately 10 shows at the start of every season, and then we pare down that list as we go.
Yeah, we whittle away, just knocking off whatever we find unpalatable.
We whittle away at the list, just whittling it down, making a figurine.
But yeah, if you want to hear us talk about any of the shows that are airing this season, like No Gun's Life, Dr. Stone,
Fire Force,
Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in My Next Life, then yeah.
Africa Salaryman.
Salaryman. Then yeah, check out that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
The Protagonist Seat. It's our podcast. Listen to it, please.
And if you want to hear us talk more about Spectre or, Somali and the Forest Spirit...
Stay tuned for the coming seasons.
Yeah, because those are going to be added to that.
And our podcast is also distributed on Libsyn, so that'll be on Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, Apple iTunes Play Music.
All the things. And we also do, at the end of every season, a big award show.
Yeah. Who's your best girl of the season? It might be different from ours.
And then if that's the case, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, and then the comments just get ugly. And then we have to fist fight people. We have to track them down and fist fight them for being wrong.
It gets tiring. There's so many people in the world that are wrong. It's surprising.
We spend so many of our dollars, so many of our money just traveling.
We almost break it up where it's like, all right, you take the northern hemisphere, I'll take the southern hemisphere.
And then knives gritted in our teeth, we head off into the battles of the waifu wars. But anyway.
Yeah, we kind of stretched out this ending.
A little bit. But we hope you have enjoyed. Stay tuned for us if you did.
Yeah, and if you were at Anime New York.
Say hi.
Sup, brah.
Yeah, chaka, brah.
Shaka, brah.
That's what they say in New York, right?
Yeah. I'm walking here.
We were walking there.
We were walking there.
Goodbye.
See you next time.
You goon.